do. And the back escapes that I try to do, they'll work gi, no gi, it really doesn't matter. The most important thing to think about what you're doing is you don't want to extend your hands down and try to take someone's feet off. And as long as you keep a very good tuck position with your neck. So when I talk about a tuck position, some awesome jiu-jitsu guy, Crit, talks about the Stephen Hawking. And it's not really politically correct, but it's the way to do it, right? So what you do is you shrug your shoulders up, and I turn my chin into my shoulder here. And yeah, people can still squeeze and get that jawline to try to open up, but for the most part, they're not going to choke you, whether it's gi or no gi. So as soon as I can shrug my shoulders, turn to the inside, then I'm right here. Okay, so even if he tries to start choking me, and I start with this position here, so try to get it. Right. I don't want my hands down here. I'm obviously going to fight, but for the most part, if anything, there might be a little bit of pain, but it's not. It doesn't feel like it's going to break my jaw, nothing like that, because all that pressure is going through my shoulder right here, and I'll feel some pressure here. But for the most part, if he just gets around my neck, this is too much for me to fight. Okay. So from the beginning, if I can think about keeping my hands up, right, I'm not fighting these feet, right, because as soon as I start going like this, he's going to trap my arm. And now it's going to be 2-on-1. Okay, so hands up, Stephen Hawking, shoulders up, in towards my shoulder with my chin, and now from here, no matter what he does, I'm going to be okay. Even if he brings me back, nothing really changes. I'm still here. Okay, so those are two very important things. Okay, so the first thing, most people, as soon as they take your back, they're going to get that seatbelt grip. So one under your arm, one over. Okay. The first thing that I try to do, the hand that is under his arm, I'm going to grab his wrist, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to monkey grip it and bring my elbow down, and I'm almost pulling this down. So when he tries to bring this up, right, I have a little bit of a grip to at least slow things down. Okay? And the reason why I do that is because he can't choke me really with this arm, because this arm's right here, right? Even if he starts going for arm triangles, like right now, he's gonna have to move his body to try to get it, and I'm out of the back position, and then I can start attacking that, okay? So the arm that's gonna attack me is going to be the one that's over my shoulder, right? Just like that, yep. So as soon as he gets the seatbelt grip, hand on the inside and elbow down to kind of slow things down. The second thing I do is I try to get a 2-on-1. Okay, so me trying to get this 2-on-1, my thumb goes on the inside of his wrist, my elbow comes down, and now I'm here. So when he tries to really do anything, I'm kind of at least holding him. Even if I'm tired, I can hold this for a while. Okay, now, sometimes they get frustrated, and sometimes I'm able to pull this arm away, and I'm going to go over the very first back escape that I learned, and it's really a good one, as long as you have the technique down. Okay, so as soon as I get this position here, and I can bring my elbows in, and I'm in a good position, keeping my chin to my shoulder, I can start pulling my elbow down and getting this position, where I'm bringing his elbow up, and I'm flaring it, and I'm kind of doing this with my hands. My elbows are still in, but I'm emphasizing this just so you can see it. Okay, so when I get here, I get there, I can break that grip. Okay, now as soon as I break that grip, I release from the monkey paw to grabbing both hands on his wrist, okay? So I'm just like that, and I grab it. So the next thing that I try to do, a lot of people are taught to come over their arm, over their head like this, and now I'm in the same position. I have arm bars, or I can continue to drive them with that arm bar position until I get out of it. The problem is, you get somebody strong, they're not really gonna just let you do this, right? And if I don't break, if there's a little bit of slack here, keep your elbow down, I can't get this over my head, okay? So the important part for me is once I break this position from here to here, switch, I need to extend his arm, and I need to move my head and back. And because I have control of this arm, I'm not worried about Stephen Hawking anymore, okay? So as soon as I get this position, I'm extending, and I'm going into him here, okay? So my chest, his chest is against my back, and I'm almost trying to pull his arm off from his body, okay? Or dislocate his shoulder, I guess. So once I get here, now it's really easy for me to bring this over my head in this position because there's that, it's locked out. If there's any bend in this elbow, it's really hard for me to fight. I don't want to fight that. As soon as I extend here, fight me a little bit. You can't, okay? Now that I get this position, this is what I want you guys to do. A basic way, as soon as I get here, I'm putting my chin against his tricep and I'm pulling his arm away from me in that armbar position. And now I'm here. So I have an armbar if I want, right?
You do.
And now from here, the other thing that I can do, as long as I keep this position, most of the time his legs are gonna extend. Even if they're here, like they're semi-cross, it's easy for me to get my elbow, keep this position, because I still have the armbar. I have all the leverage right here. My elbow to his knee and kick this leg through. And now from here, it's easy for me to turn into him. And I can start taking his back from here. Get that under. Okay, so he gets that seatbelt position. 1, 2, right? Elbows in, and I'm gonna bring his elbow up on my shoulder. Here, break that grip. Grab with both my hands, 2-on-1, extend and put my back into him. Over, and I'm here, okay? I can keep going and get this arm bar, or I can break this, keep that arm bar position the entire time. That's my arm now, right? And then I can get to that top position, or I can just back up and try to start passing his guards. I'm gonna still attack and try to get that position. It's up to you guys what you wanna do in that scramble, okay? So, seatbelt position. This is something you can try to do slow, but it's better if you do it quickly, okay? Because if I go here and here, and I try to get this position slow, it's gonna be hard, right? So, 1, 2, now that I got this position, 3, boom, extend, over, I'm gonna start thinking about taking his back. And get into that triangle position, or just taking his back. So I can work my techniques, okay? So make sure we're extending that arm. That's probably the most important thing in that position, okay? In the beginning stages, don't start pushing his feet down with your hands. Just gonna mess me up. Chin down, shoulders up, and chin into my shoulder. And that stops 95% of the chokes or even try to get to you, okay?